What's up, everyone? Adrian Morrison here. I'm excited to be here tonight, and I tell you this with a lot of different things happening right now. So, excuse me tonight if I'm a little bit off base. Um, I ended up missing last week's webinar just due to travel circumstances and layovers. I was traveling up to a big tech company in Boise, Idaho. Many of you probably use this company, and they're a great company. So, I do a lot of things with Shopify, a lot of things with ClickFunnels, and they kind of cross paths a lot of times. So, I flew up there, and then in the last week, like the day before I flew out there, I moved into a new place. So some of you don't know this, but many of you know I leased a place in Miami for 6 months. And I've always wanted to come out to Miami. There's a lot of e-com guys out here and great networking and masterminds and all these cool things. So I said, you know what, let's do it. Let's move the whole family and the 2-year-old to Miami and temporarily. But I loved it so much and I've gotten so much value out of being here. When my lease ended, I just found a place and bought it. So, I have a permanent place here. It's not my permanent residence. I still have my other houses, and mainly the one I'm stationed at is in Alice Beach, Florida. But, I just bought a place here. So now I could be here and get info, network, stay on the cutting edge with all these other guys and girls are doing big things out here, and then kind of convey that information to you on these webinars. See, I'm going traveling to different companies, to masterminds. I'm here in Miami, surrounded by a lot of people, and all the things I learn, I get to convey to you here on these webinars. And no sooner than I hit start webinar here, my wife came out here and told me that Drake, my 2-year-old, is having an allergic reaction and his whole right cheek is swollen and red. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? I just hit start on a webinar. I missed last week because I was stuck in the airport. And now my kid's having an allergic reaction. His whole cheek is swelling up. So I was really excited to do this webinar, but now I'm I don't even know what's happening because I'm doing this webinar. So I try my best to, for those of you that are new, to just always be here. This year has been a little bit of a struggle. I've missed a couple of webinars. It's going to happen from time to time because things happen with travel. Things happen when you got a 2-year-old. There's always something happening with a 2-year-old. I'm sure Drake is going to be fine. She'll come out here and tell me if there's an emergency or anything like that. I don't even have an office right now or a desk or even a table. I have a couch and a chair because our furniture isn't here yet in this new place. So bear with me. I'm just going to really dive into this. I might keep it a little bit shorter because I am a bit anxious. I want to go, check on Drake. One thing I will say is I am so glad that I did everything that I needed to do in life in regards to my business before I decided to have a kid, because what I found is over the last 2 years is nothing is more important, my friends oh, come here and do this. It's only gonna be 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm like, yo, I got a Paw Patrol date with Drake. We're supposed to be watching Paw Patrol at 1 o'clock. So no, I don't care who I can meet and how much money they have and what opportunity is there for me. I'm not interested. I'd much rather be sitting on the couch watching Paw Patrol with Drake. And see, my friends that don't have kids and other partners that don't have kids, they don't really understand that, but the thing is I put in the work over the last 20 years. I did all the things I needed to do to set myself up to be able to say no, even when no isn't the most financially intelligent answer. I've set myself up in a position with all of this stuff that I'm teaching y'all where I can say no and I can miss out and it's not detrimental, right? There's always another thing. There's always another meeting. There's always another person, you know? The one thing that I don't take lightly is missing these webinars, because I know that many of you show up, you schedule, you count on me. It's very hard to say no to the webinars. Like I think most dads might say, hey, I'm skipping the webinar, my kid is sick, or something's happening, right? No, but you know, I try my best to be here, and I hope y'all understand that and you see that. And if you already got kids and you're like, oh shit, I can't do everything I need to do before I have kids because I already got kids and I got toddlers or teenagers or whatever, or maybe you're at the point where you got grandkids, you know, there's always time. But I will tell you, it's hard to focus on, you know, things as much as, you know, when you're just by yourself, and maybe the worst thing that's going to distract you is a barking dog versus a toddler running in the room, wondering why his Chase toy from Paw Patrol broke since he decided to throw it across the room. And I'm like, well, I got to fix it, you know, work can wait. So anyways, y'all didn't come here to hear about the, you know, the trials and tribulations of managing a business while being a dad and all of these other things. And it's all a blessing. But just, you know, prefacing this with, I might be a little scatterbrained right now because this is my first and only kid. So, you know, they say on your second, third one, like you don't worry as much. Every little thing I'm like worried about. So anyways, let's get into it. Look, tonight, what I want to do is I want to walk you through some trending products right now, since it's been 2 weeks since we last, you know, spoke and did a webinar. There are always new products that are winning. There's always something new, something fresh. There's always a new wave that is forming that you want to surf, right? And so a lot of these webinars, what I do, again, for those of you that are new, is they're free. There's nothing for sale. We just do product research. We talk about traffic strategies, and the most, I guess, requested one and appreciated one is where I just go over hot products that gives y'all ideas to run with, because I can give you a traffic strategy, but if you don't know what product you want to advertise, you might go spend 2-3 weeks trying to find the right product to implement the strategy with. So what we're going to do is a couple of things. But first, we're going to jump over to ZenDrop. Now, ZenDrop is a phenomenal company. They're the vendor I have you all set up with. The founder, Jared Getz, is in like the West Palm area. That's where their company is located. And they're just phenomenal. They're such a great dropship company. I would seriously dub them as #1 in regards to quality and performance, communication, just all of the above. And they're free to use, but they do have paid plans. Actually, for my users, y'all are getting like special free, get started free accounts that most people don't get. So you have a huge advantage there and a huge savings there. But again, if you want the premium accounts, you know, those cost money, you got to upgrade. And some of the things that come along with the premium accounts is this trending products section. Now, if I come over here and I go to the plans, the plus plan is what unlocks the top winning product feed. It's $600 a year rounding up. Monthly, it's $80 a month. So, you know, over $800 a year. Let's just round up to 1,000. Many of you, that's not in the budget starting out. And I get that. If it is, that's great. It's phenomenal. It's worth it. But what I like to do is come in here in my account, which I have a plus account, and show you what products are trending right now. And some of them remain trending for weeks and some new ones pop in. And what we really like to do as we continuously do this is focus on the ones that are new and popping in, because those are some new waves we might catch, but also recognize the ones that are staying in the top trending products, because that means that they are becoming battle tested, meaning they have some longevity in them. There's a lot of people probably selling them, and that's why they're staying up on this leaderboard, if you will. So let's look at some of these. And some of these I have no clue what they are, and might require a little product research, and or research on what the product is. And some of them are quite obvious, So I think like the other week there was some stuff that we were looking at, and I was like, what is this? And I got to go Google it. Just remember, just because you don't know what the product is, doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't advertise it. For the longest time, I was one of the top diabetic marketers in the world, meaning I was marketing this one-touch diabetic meter. I was sending the company an immense amount of leads before I got into ecom. And I really had no education on diabetes, like none. I was just a kid. And I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of diabetic people in the world, and I don't understand the ins and outs of diabetics. And I don't understand why somebody needs to prick their finger and check their blood glucose levels. I don't get it, but I know that they need it, right? And so I also knew that I could go on Facebook and I could target people and with interests regarding to diabetes. So there's tons of diabetic groups and resources and associations and all of these different things. And so I was doing, man, I was like $10, $20, $30,000 in a day in like commissions marketing this diabetic thing. And my dad would ask me, what is this? I'm like, Dad, I don't know, but people need it, and I know how to find the people, and I know how to put the free offer in front of their face. And obviously now I'm very educated on what all of that is. But just point being, when you see a product that's trending, if it doesn't appeal to you or you don't know what it is, just keep in mind it's trending. So it might be a smart product to advertise and learn a little bit about. So some of these products here, this is the number one thing. I don't understand what it is. I know what postpartum is, but like, to be honest, I feel comfortable even trying to talk about this and why it would work and all of that, but it's number one on trending right now. So it must be selling and it must be helping with whatever, it helps with. But we're not on a live webinar going to go and research this product, because to be honest, I don't want to sound like a dumbass when I start making, assumptions and stuff. So yeah, I have no business doing research on this on a live webinar. I'll do that on my own. This play mat with a vehicle and traffic signs. Look, kids' toys are hitting all the time. Every day people have kids. It's one of the best niches to be in, because there is no stagnation, there's no paralyzation of customer growth, because every day new kids are born, people are parents, kids become certain ages and can start playing with certain toys. So it's just like one of the best evergreen niches, very similar to the dog niche. And a lot of times influencers, like mommy influencers, will post toys on their IG pages and TikTok pages and YouTubes, and then the toy will just blow up. An example is this little dinosaur one that I just bought for Drake. It showed up in my feed, and it was this big dinosaur that was like automated with little dinosaur cars, and you put it on a track and they would go down the track and it would make the little dinosaurs like climb up. And I saw it on Instagram and immediately went to buy it. So let me just come over here to, let's see, dinosaur. Let's do car climber. It was going super viral. Yeah, here it is. So I bought this. I definitely didn't pay all the express prices. I paid the price, that you would pay retail. Bought this for Drake just impulsively because I kept seeing it and I was like, man, kids must love this. And he does. He loves it. And so, I know as a parent now, something I didn't really know before parenthood is, products that you see, it makes sense why. All right. So it definitely has always made sense why kids' toys sell. I never really thought about why certain kids' toys are selling because I didn't care about kids. I wasn't a dad, you know, I wasn't thinking about kids. So this must be something that people are posting about right now, and that's probably why it's hitting, which means there's pre-marketing that is done for you. I love it when influencers and stuff, YouTubers post things, make them go viral because they sell them for you. Then when you put your ad out there, people are like, oh, that's that thing I saw. That's that thing I forgot to buy, blah, 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 blah. Invisible height increasing insoles. So y'all, if you are, I guess 35 and above, you may not know this because I didn't, and I'm 40. Never occurred to me. So there's this thing with the younger generation, which makes me feel so freaking old saying that because I kind of still consider myself quite young. But I have a nanny for Drake. She's sweet as can be. She's the best. She's 23 years old. And this is kind of where I first discovered this, is that now like there's this like requirement with a lot of girls that a guy has to be 6 feet tall or above. Like height is in line with what a lot of girls find attractive. It's like a thing. I even saw this psychologist, like women's like relationship psychologist, saying it was some real, I forget what it was, that a lot of women look at men's height the same way men look at a woman's face in regards to beauty. Well, good thing I'm married because I'm 5'10". So, I'm like 5'10", 5'9", maybe. I don't know. Like I went and got my picture taken to get a gun I was buying. I had to stand on the thing and it said 5'10". So I think I grew an inch in the last like, I don't know, 10 years or so. But either way, I'm like, damn, I don't make the cut. And so there's this big boom happening right now. Tinder, which is a dating app I'm sure most of you have heard of, they're even adding a height filter to the preferences there where you can filter out anybody that is not over a specific height. I think this is crazy. It was never a big deal when I was a kid. Thank God. I never even thought about it, you know, but there's a big boom. And if you're my age or above, you may not have thought about it. You may not know about it. Maybe like, why is this invisible height increasing insole popping off right now? Why is it trending? Well, there's influencers and guys that walk around cities and interview girls and say, does height matter? And all these girls, not all of them, but many of them are like, absolutely, yes. If you're not 6 feet, then, you know, tough luck, get lost, you know, you know? So if you're a short king, tough luck. You're gonna need these. So these are $1 and they solve a big problem. You know, men that are interested in women, right? They want to do whatever it takes to get the girls. You know, they want to be rich. They want to have a good car. They want to have good fashion. They want to be good at sports. And apparently now they want to be tall. So they will do whatever it takes to get a little bit of height. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, how do you hide it? Because like you don't really want to be embarrassed and like let them know you're wearing platform shoes to be tall. So this is one of those things that appears like you can add a discrete like kind of like, hey, this is gain 2 inches, 3 inches in height, whatever, in a discrete way, blah, 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 blah. You can reference all of these studies and all of these, you know, social media things about why height matters. And you can target people. And I mean, we could go in a deep rabbit hole about that, because when it comes to things that people will do to attract whatever type of person they're interested in, guy, girl, you know, whatever, you'll do whatever it is you think is necessary, because we spend our lives on the frickin' hunt. We are hunters until we get married or find a partner. So we're getting all the ammunition we can, you know, to I guess hunt the, you know, best of the best, if you will. So yeah, this makes sense. I'm very interested in this type of product. It seems like right now it's just booming. It has been for like maybe the last year. This is one of those things that's kind of basic. I just wouldn't bother with that one right now. Even though it is a top trending product, like you really need to have the fitness niche honed in. And yet again, something else for the boys to look better and attract more people. Male Shaper Tank 2.0 slimming compression vest. So if you want to look thin and you don't want to have, you know, the bulge or the buttons all tight and stuff on your shirt, then this looks like something that kind of can smooth things out, a lot like women wear shapers as well. So now I'm starting to see a lot of things about guys wearing them. So this is the second thing that I've seen that's really for guys, insecurities, right? And insecurities can be very profitable when you offer solutions to those insecurities. Now, I would not say, you know, buy this and, you know, take your shirt off, like all of a sudden they gonna know, you know what I'm saying? Like they gonna know, but I get your butt in the gym if you want a flat stomach, or I would diet, you know. But that's a great way when you're selling a product like this, like, hey, here's the quick fix. Now let's start looking at the different types of supplements and diets and health products and weight products that we could sell to you so you can get in shape. So this is a great starter. It could be a free plus shipping type item because it's super cheap out the door. It meets the requirements. It fixes an insecurity, and I think that this is a product that could transition you into selling some of the fitness stuff, because this is someone that cares enough to buy this and wear this, which I'm sure is not very comfortable, to, you know, look a little bit better. Some of the other things. Oh, magnetic water bottle. Okay, so if you're selling water bottles, there's got to be a reason why your water bottle is worth buying. This is an ugly photo. It sucks. It doesn't really explain what the image is. Now, when you go to this, I mean, what the product is, you go to this one, it does a little bit of a better job, but not too much. And so, yeah, this is interesting to me because you would need to buy this product, in my opinion, and have a UGC creator or AI create like a ad for you, because these images really suck. But I automatically think about like germaphobes. I'm kind of a germaphobe. I don't like sitting my water bottle down at the gym on the ground, because then it's like dirty, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like touching it and drinking out of it. So I always try to find somewhere to sit it. This is magnetic, so it could magnetize to a lot of the machinery and stuff, or it could magnetize maybe to your bike if you're a hiker, whatever it may be. You know, there's definitely an angle there that you could play with, and that's probably why that's trending. Some of the other things, we've gone over the EMS heat therapy guard, the toothbrush thing we talked about, big influencer Ben Greenfield in the health space. I see his ads all the time promoting that. There's this Magpie LED lamp. This is new. It looks like a bird. So you probably could hit bird watchers or people that are interested in whatever type of bird this is mimicking. Or is this a bird, or is that a dolphin? I can't tell from the image. It looks like a bird. Yeah, it's a bird. Both, you know, just weird. The top part kind of looks dolphin. The bottom part made it look like a bird because it's got the belly. But bird watchers and people interested in those birds that look similar to that, easy target, and you'd be surprised at how many people you could target this to. That's why it's trending. We talked about the air purifying ashtray, the nasal dilator. These are blowing up. This is, I use these, and they do wonders. And you got big influencers in the health space that wear these, that kind of make them go viral. You know, one of them is the dude that does the morning routine thing and dips his face in the water that's blown up. He's always wearing one of these in the ad, so it's no surprise this is starting to trend now. Helps you breathe better, reduces snoring. It's just a really great product. Easy to market when big influencers are with millions of followers are using that product. You don't want to mention them in your ads, but you know, it speaks for themselves. What else do we have here? Landscape aroma, humidifier. You know, these are always interesting to me. There's always a humidifier that is trending. You know, like there's always a freaking, how do they find these freaking humidifiers? Whoever is making these trends, who is doing this? But there's always trending humidifiers. So one thing is for sure, humidifiers are always popping, right? You should have a whole humidifier section on your store, and then just keep up with which ones are really taking off right now. Bring them in and people will start shopping and they might find different ones. But there's always a humidifier that is popping off. That's why I love looking at ZenDrop's trending products, because it shows me like every week there's another freaking humidifier that is popping off. And I'm like, it's like, are they ever going to stop selling? Let's see, do one more page. Then I'm gonna go check on Draco. The RGB desktop lights, gamers and streamers, you know, streamers on Twitch and Kick and all these other platforms, like this is something they might use because they use a lot of the neon lights. Other things I might see, the steamy brush pet thing, there's always these tools for pets that work really, really well. Desktop stress relief, this one I could definitely see working as a novelty item, because especially to people that are working jobs and entrepreneurs, if positioned correctly, it's like, yo, just let off some stress real quick. You don't need a fidget spinner. You don't need to squeeze a ball. Just, you know, punch the hell out of this little punching bag here. One good, you know, hook, and let all that stress out. I could see that people impulsively buying that. So it makes sense that it's trending. The portable fans are going to be trending now because summertime, you know, June, July, August are hot months. Anything else on this page that really sticks out to me? The arm trainer, there's another Mansana corset. So it's weird, you know, not often that I see so many products for males like, you know, like this that are trending. So something's happening right now that I must be unaware of. Like somebody's posting about this stuff or something. It's just like, typically there's not so many in here. Height and two different like slimming corset vests about losing weight and stuff. So that's what I would, these are some products I would go into ZenDrop and look for and look at right now. And I've explained to you the reasoning behind them. Next week, hopefully I have a desk. I'm a bit more focused. I hope that tonight's content was good for you. I will say I keep like, I have my laptop in my hand, I'm walking around and I keep like peeking in to see if Drake's okay, if that swelling's gone down. We gave him some Benadryl. So I'm gonna go check on him. I love you all, wish you a ton of success. Thanks for believing in me and being here each week to get this free information and do product research with me. And my hope and my wish is that you all take this information and you use it. And some of you see success with it. Like I was just walking down the street the other day and this guy stopped me. He's like, bro, I looked at your stuff and I started my store and I'm getting a couple of sales every day now. And it was just really cool, you know, it was really cool. He's like so excited. And because he just started and he's seeing it work. It's incredible, right? So I hope that you take this info, hope that you use it, hope that you come back next week for more product research. And if you're new, I don't usually spend as much time talking about, you know, Drake and stuff, but sure, if you have kids, you understand, you know, the anxiety. But I will see you all next week, same place, same time, right here on the Profit Power Hour. Good night, y'all.